So we're talking about people wanting to pet your dog. Has anybody encountered that yet? Yeah, probably everybody, right? First and foremost, I want you all to understand that it's your dog and that no is a complete sentence, okay? You're absolutely okay to say no to anybody for any reason if they're asking to pet your dog and it's not an appropriate time, right? So there's all sorts of different dogs in here. There's dogs that are more nervous. There's dogs that are young who might have nervous periods in their life. There's dogs who just don't care about other people. And then there's the super friendly dogs that might want to like run and jump on every single person exactly that they come across. Me personally, I think less is more as far as physical socialization goes, meaning I prefer my dogs to see people, but not necessarily to interact with all of the people. It does not have to be physical socialization in order for them to get comfortable around new people. So I do mostly not let people touch my dogs when I'm out on a walk or when I'm out in public. Part of that is the service dog thing, but part of that is that I don't want my dogs running up to every single person that they see on a walk and expecting to get petted by them. I want them to pay attention to me. I want them engaged with me. So I make occasional exceptions, and you all set your own rules, whether or not you want people to pet them. But my exceptions, just so you have an example, are if I stop to talk to somebody long enough that my dog is relaxed. They're relaxed, they're not super eager or interested, and maybe that person has asked politely. Yeah, absolutely, I will let them say hi if the dog is willing to accept it. But more often than not, I give the excuse, no, I'm sorry, they're training. And I have found that out of all of the excuses that I've given over the years, this is the one that gets the most respect. Is that correct? No, but it's the one that gets the most respect from other people. And you don't have to then explain why your dog is nervous or why you're not letting the person pet your dog in the first place. So, no, I'm sorry, my dog is training right now. People understand the amount of time and effort and money that goes into training your dog, and for some reason that's like the magic ingredient to get them to give you some space, okay? However, if you do want people to pet your dog, raise your hand if you still want people to pet your dog. You're allowed to say yes. Yeah. Well, Presley's gonna need time, right? We know that. Because if you have a nervous dog who isn't interested in interacting right away, and I would say he's not there yet, even with me, he was sniffing me earlier today, but he's not there yet. He was investigating me, but if I had reached to touch him, I guarantee he would have still given us some nervous behaviors. Okay. And prevention is the key to this, meaning you're preventing your dog from having a bad experience. You're advocating for your dog so that they are the most comfortable that they could possibly be. No. What I was getting at, I get on tangents. If you still want somebody to pet your dog, you need to be able and willing to read their body language. So if you see what we call low body language, what I call low body language, I feel like I might be the only one that says that. So low posture, ears back, head down, back legs trailing behind them like they forgot that they exist. This is all still nervous body language. And even if the dog is stretching towards the person, this is not an invitation for petting. You know, dogs get it wrong sometimes. They might go up to somebody sniffing them because they're curious, but if that person reached out and pet, they might scurry away. So we want to avoid that touch if it's not the right time. I think we all know what an eager dog looks like, a dog who really does want to be petted. Does anybody have some examples? Liberty in general. Go ahead.
My neighbor's dog.
Yeah. What do they do?
He will always come running up to you.
Mm-hmm.
He won't even sniff you. He will just like
Knock you over. That's pretty much my answer. Not that I want your dog to be knocking people over, but the body language of an eager dog is approaching quickly and eagerly. The tail wagging, like side to side, is a really good one. Medium tail is good. We haven't talked about this a ton, and some of them don't have tails, but medium tail is good. High scorpion tail is a little bit overstimulated. You do have to pay attention to your dog's tail set, though. Sometimes poodles have a high tail set, and you can't necessarily take that for everything. Low tail, like tucked between the legs, even if it's wagging, how does the dog feel? Nervous. Yeah, they're not interested in being touched by whatever that is, right? So read your dog's body language. We have nice body language charts like all along the wall here, or you can always ask me if you see something that you're not sure about. But it is, it is a feeling that you get from your dog, typically. Every once in a while people get it wrong and you'll learn from that, but it's a feeling that you get from your dog. Do they actually want to see that person, or do they look suspicious, like they're not ready for it yet? Okay, so what we're going to play today is a game called Can I Pet Your Dog? Everybody on the first round is going to tell me no, okay? First time I go around, everybody tells me no. If you want to give me an excuse, you can give me an excuse, but also no is a complete sentence. You can just tell me no, all right? So I'm going to come up to you. I'm going to ask you, yes. She wants to play too. I'm going to ask you, hi, can I pet your dog? And you can tell me no, and you can give me an excuse if you want to. In a second, I'm going to pass out paper plates, and we're going to put like spray cheese or treats on them. And when you hear me say hi, you're going to present the paper plate to the dog on the floor right next to your feet, okay? This is going to act as a draw for the dog so that they learn to ignore me and be calm. But I do want the dog to see and hear me when I say hi. So you're not doing it before I get there. You're doing it as soon as I say the word hi. Everybody make sense?